Hello, everybody. Welcome to At America. With me, Hasna, one of the guests here in At America. And thank you so much for tuning in with us in this Saturday afternoon. And for those of you who are new here and have no idea what At America is, At America is the U.S. Embassy's American Center, and our mission is to provide a space for young Indonesians to learn about the United States. We are delighted to welcome all audiences joining us online and on site today on another episode of Education USA TOEFL iBT Preparation Part 4 out of 6. This event will guide you on the path to English proficiency to support your plans to study in the US. But before we begin, we have a little social media quiz for you, and the question for today is: when did EDS decide to shorten the TOEFL IBT test from 4 hours to 3 hours? Is it A, 1st of August 2019? Is it B, 5th of August 2020? Is it C, 1st of May 2019? Or D, 10th of September 2017? You may type in your answer at any time during this session on our social media platforms or Zoom chat box. Feel free to type it in. And also, the lucky one who can guess the answer correctly will get a live shout out from us by the end of this event. Other than that, feel free to submit your questions or comments during this session on our social media platforms or again on the Zoom chat box session. All right, and now please welcome our lovely facilitator, an EDS approved TOEFL IBD facilitator of the International Test Center Indonesia, Ibu Hafilia R. Ismanto.
Okay, hi, good afternoon, everyone. Okay, I hope everybody is in good shape. Yeah. Now, so can we turn this on? Right. Okay. So for today's session, we're going to review a bit about the writing. Right. So for those of you who have been joining our series, who have been attending, okay, online, on site. All right. The for the 3 sessions before this, you might have recalled that we have been talking about the speaking. That was the first session. Okay. And then the writing, that was the half of the second session and the third session. And now I have to again remind you before we move on to the reading skills, right? So let me remind you again, this is like a wrap up of the writing, that you will have 50 minutes, 50, okay, total, when you do your writing for the TOEFL IBT, all right? Now, it consists of integrated, and of course, the other one is the independent speaking task. Please remember, you will know that it is integrated if in the prompt, yeah, in the instructions. Look at the 3 instructions there. The first point is summarize the points made in the lecture, being sure to explain. Now, this is the same phrase that's being used, okay, for the 3 prompts. Just look at the phrase when it says how they cast doubt on specific points made in the reading. Okay. The second one is how they challenge or oppose. So you may read these different phrases, but it means the same thing. And the third one is how they answer the problems raised in the reading passage. Right? So once you got the prompt, something like this, you will automatically know it's going to be the integrated. Okay. And the integrated has 2 possibilities. One, right? The lecture will oppose, okay, like what you saw from the first slide, oppose the reading. But there is also a case where the lecture will support what has been written in the reading. Therefore, if you see the prompt, summarize the points made in the lecture, being sure to specifically explain how they support, how the lecture supports. Summarize the points made in the lecture, being sure to specifically explain how they strengthen. These are just all the different phrases that you may find, okay, in the prompts. If you see this prompt, it means, all right, it means that what you hear and what you read are going to complement each other, all right? That is why there are two very simple templates. Now, I'm not talking about template copy pasting words, phrases, sentences. I'm talking about a template for note taking, okay? So, if we have the integrated speaking, integrated writing, which contradicts between the reading and the lecture, we use the T. Remember that? Yeah. And if we have complements, when two sources complement each other, the reading and the lecture, then we will use something like this, which is your outlining. Okay. So it's very easy, very simple. That's it for writing. All right. You either use for your note taking, you either use the left. Okay, you either use the left diagram or the right diagram. Now, we talk about altruism. All right? Remember? Still remember what altruism means? What is it? What? Sharing, sacrificing something for others. All right. Who does that? Who does that? Only the meerkats. Oh, and humans. Okay, so we have humans, and the other example are animals, right? Specifically, what animal we're talking about? Okay, why or which, what role? There is a specific role in meerkats that act a sentinel, okay? Okay, the younger you are, the more you remember, yeah? That's what happens when you get old. All right. Okay, the sentinel. Okay, so, right, when you read, whatever it is, the passage, when you read, remember to ask yourself that WH questions. We're going to move on to reading, yeah, later on. But this is something that you need to automatically, what's in your head? As you read, you're going to ask, what are we talking about? What is the topic? Okay? And so, oh, it's altruism. You see it from the first sentence. Altruism is a type of behavior, blah, 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 blah. It's a definition, right? Then you need to predict. As a reader, you need to predict. So, what's going to come next? Probably explaining what we mean by sacrificing. When we do sacrifice, we do actions of sacrifice for the good of others, right? And probably as a reader, you're expecting there will be examples. Okay? Now, in this passage, as we have already reminded ourselves, there were two examples done by human beings and done by animals. All right? There it is. Yeah? Usually, and this makes up, that's why I said, if you read a lot, you will be able to write better. Because you're going to expose yourself a lot. You're going to get used to academic reading text. And when you write your essay, you're going to like, oh yeah, the way that I usually read my academic text, right? The way that it is presented, the topic development, the organization, and all that, you're going to remember that. And when you write, you are going to also, it's going to help you. All right. And then you hear the lecture, right? We're not going to hear the meerkat anymore. Okay. Oh, okay. So sorry about that. Right. And once you hear the lecture, it will disappear, yeah? from your screen? But don't worry, because once the lecture is done, what happens? Yep, it's going to come back. And you're going to write on the space with the reading still there. Okay. Now, this is just an example. This is just an example of note-taking, what we mean by note-taking. Remember that note-taking is a very important skill. It is one of the most significant skills for academic studies. And it starts, your practice starts when you take the TOEFL. Okay? Because when you hear lecture, it's difficult for us to write everything right. And we do note taking not because we want to write every single word or all the sentences that you hear. You're going to write the main points. It is easy for the integrated part because whatever that the lecture is saying is going to be related with the reading. So once you get the main issues in the reading, all you need to do is focus on what the lecture says about that particular issue. Am I making myself clear? Yeah? Okay. So it is, even though the reading will come back to you again, you will be able to see the reading after you hear the lecture. It doesn't mean, oh, then I don't have to write anything, right? I just have to understand. No. Why? Because the lecture is going to address the issues that you have read in the reading, right? If you do not jot the important information on the reading, you're going to get lost once you have to start writing, because the lecture will not be heard again. So human altruism, right? And we talk about animal altruism. Example, you can only write that much, yeah, in a very short time because you're listening and you are reading and you have only 3 minutes to read. I have given you some experience, first-hand experience when I time you to read the passage, right, about altruism, and I think 3 minutes for reading is quite okay, as long as you have good reading skills. Okay? Now, so the why did I put the listening here and the reading there? Any ideas? Why did I put the listening on the left side and the reading on the right side? You're going to read the reading first, right? But why put it on the right? Remember the prompt? Remember, it's always what? It always asks you, yeah, to compare, but looking at from which point of view? POV, the lecture. Okay? So, since that is the case, therefore, it is practical, it is common sense to write down the listening, your notes on the listening on the left side, because that's going to be your commanding officer. Okay? Yeah? Point of view, POV. when we write, when you later on, maybe when you're already like going to US colleges, either for a master's degree, a doctoral degree, or a bachelor's degree, when we write, there's always that POV, which is the point of view. Am I writing a narration about myself, about what I am feeling, about what I am doing? Then it's the first person, POV. If I am giving suggestions, if I am giving recommendations, if I am telling people to do this, to do that, then the subject is you. That means the second person point of view. We call it POV. If we're talking about somebody else, something else outside the writer and the reader, then it is the third person point of view. This is from the listening point of view. Okay? From the listening, from the lecture, okay, what did the lecturer feel? What did the lecturer say about issues that were raised in the reading? Got that? That's very clear, yeah? Okay. So that's why I put the listening there. Why? Because your note-taking template is going to be your outline for your writing. Ingat ito. You will not waste your 20 minutes gitu loh. Because you already basically have this. And you just need to develop paragraphs, right? Your hamburger. Okay? Now, so this is as much as you can probably write. You cannot write even long phrases, especially when you're listening. So what do you write? 5 WH questions: the what, the when, the who, the where. You're like a journalist, yeah? If you're studying journalism, it's the 5 W's plus the 1 H. What, where, when, who, why. We have the how. Okay? So, what is it? Human altruism. Okay? What did the reading say? Human altruism. You will probably say, okay, the example is that humans share food, donate organs. That's an act of sacrificing because it benefits others. And for that, it's altruistic because they get little rewards. Those are just the things that you're able to write as you read for 3 minutes. As you listen, okay, as you listen, you're probably going to also just be writing these very few phrases, yeah, or words, even if not phrases. What did the listening say? Well, the professor said, wait. Even though they donate organs, but they do receive appreciation from the public. So that's kind of like a self-esteem, self-reward, all right? So we cannot call it 100% selflessness, all right? Okay, animal altruism, the meerkat. It stated two things about the meerkat. One, as a sentinel, the guard, it goes hungry while the others, the friends, are looking for food. So it sacrifices itself because he or she, the meerkat, it has to guard, right, others and put itself in danger or in hunger, okay? But then what the listening said was, no, actually the meerkat already, the sentinel meerkat already ate. So he's guarding on a full stomach, okay? And if it is considered that it put itself in danger because he warned the others while he's like the last one to go, right? He's going, hey, there's predator, go. And we're thinking like, oh, the poor sentinel. Everybody escaped. What about him? But then research or the biologist said that, wait, actually, this sentinel is standing, or the where it is, it's near a burrow. Remember that? Yeah. And so it can escape easily. And predators usually will be attracted to movement. The meerkat, the sentinel is not moving. It's just giving sounds, right? While the friends who are collecting food, looking for food, are the ones who are moving. So the predators will see the movement, and if they run, they're going to be in greatest danger because the predators will run after them. The sentinel is safer. Got it? Okay. Now, the red sentences, the red words are the contradictions, okay? You have to at least get this from the 3-minute reading plus the listening, all right? If you got this correct, you are already like 70%, you are safe. Now, because you got the content correct. The next thing is, can I write sentences? That's your grammar. Grammar is not tenses, yeah? Please remember that. Why do I say that in front of Indonesians? Because I know that we are usually, what we know from the past, every time it's grammar, we only know about tenses. Tenses is a very small part of grammar. What I mean by grammar here is sentence structure. How do you make a sentence? Subject plus verb. The verb must agree with the subject. Remember that is a verb. Every English sentence must have a verb. If it doesn't have a subject, it's okay, because then it can be a command. Sit down, close the door, stand up. Verbs, imperatives. Okay? But you cannot not have a verb. So that's the question. You got the content with the hamburger. Since you already know about the hamburger, you know how to develop it. Now the next question is, you have to have enough knowledge, okay, of grammar and vocabulary to be able to describe all this in an essay. All right? My hamburger here only has 2 fillings. Let's say the tomato and then the meat. That means, how many paragraphs are we talking about? 4, right? Intro. And then we have point number 1, point number 2, and then we have the conclusion, closing, right? Okay. But we can also do this. Okay? We can also divide or develop our writing into 3 paragraphs. Meaning, human organ, we're talking about human altruism. We're talking about sentinel meerkats who stand on guard without food. And we're talking about sentinel meerkats who place themselves in dangers from predators. So you will have 3 body paragraphs. It doesn't matter. Okay, you want to have 2, fine. You want to have 3, fine. I'm just giving you options, yeah, alternatives, how you can develop your paragraphing. Okay, now I'm giving you a sample. This is a high-level response. When we mean a high-level response, we're saying that this essay either got a 5 or a 4. Why? Because the rater said this answer meets the criteria of a high-level response to an integrated task. The writer does a good job of selecting, framing, and interweaving. You know what weave means? We have lots of, in Indonesia, right? We have cloth from Sumba, ya kan? From Sumatra, which are woven, weave, yeah? So, the writer does a good job of interweaving points from the lecture. Komandannya lecture ya, POV lecture, right? And reading, explicitly and fluently presenting accurate connections between the relevant points. All 3 points made by the lecture are included. Nggak ada yang missing. Full, complete. Okay. Language is used accurately. When we say language, the rater means grammar, structure, vocabulary. Okay. And the overall piece is well organized. When we say well organized, we're talking about topic development. Remember your speaking rubric. How do you develop your topic? Okay? Nah, mari kita baca. I'm going to give you just a few minutes to read that. Okay? Just read that. I'll give you a few minutes. Read it and try to understand why the rater says that. Okay. How are you reading this? All right. Okay. Is it from the point of view of the lecture? My question is, it is? How do you know that? Yeah. Look at the sentences, yeah? The lecture refutes. You have other words for refutes? What do you think? Oppose. Okay. What else? Challenge. What else? Yang gampang aja. Argue. Disagree. Alright? Itu permainan thesaurus. Ya. Ini sinonim. Right? So, bekali, equip yourselves with a lot of synonyms. Okay. Now, so the lecture from the very beginning, look at the sentence. The lecture completely refutes the passage. Dah, titik. Very simple sentence, right? But it becomes sort of like This is what this whole writing is about. As a reader, you would want to know how the lecture refutes the passage. And so the writer said, she explained or he explained further. It is said in the lecture that the perceived acts of altruism are nothing more than sneaky methods of gaining advantage for one's self. Contrary to the belief in the passage, the sentinels risked their lives for the cause of the whole group. The professor says that the meerkat sentinels are in fact less prone to outside threats. From these two sentences or three sentences, what can you say about the writer, about her or his language competency? What strikes you? If you read this, what strikes you about the writer? What kind of language competency does this person have? One of her highest ability is yang nyata-nyata kelihatan aja. What is it? Refutes. Terus perceived. Can you see those words? Refutes, perceived. What else? Prone. You see that? Yeah. These are words that are advanced words. Higher intermediate or advanced language users can use these words, know these words, and understand how to use it in the proper context. Can you see that? Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is the characteristic, yeah, of an advanced language user, right? And you can see it from the writing. Okay. The alarm sentinels give off causes to group to move rashly. You see? That's another word. Rashly, quickly, and sometimes they don't care where they move. They just spread all over the place because they're panicked. Right? Scattered all over. Nah, itu rashly. As an English teacher, all right, I can automatically know just from these words. She's using advanced vocabulary. And she's using a wide range of vocabulary. Paling enggak di vocabnya. Got it? So far sentence-nya juga kompleks. Oke? So, ini poinnya udah dia kantongin di mananya. Topic development, organization, atau language use? Language use. If you remember, holistic. Rambutnya udah cakep. Gitu loh. Ya, remember I said holistic. We cannot, this is rubric. It's a holistic rubric. You look at it from all angles. Okay. Now, and then about, so language is used accurately and effectively. More than that, she used low frequency. You get the idea? High frequency and low frequency. Disagree? Is that low frequency or high frequency? High. We all say disagree, right? But refute. Do you think that's low frequency or high frequency? That's low frequency. So your ability to use these low frequency words, all right, accurately and effectively, all right, well organized. All right, how is it well organized? So she started with perceived acts of altruism are nothing more than sneaky methods of gaining advantage for oneself. Contrary to the belief in the passage, so that sentence, what does it do? Support yeah. Okay? Right? And then after that, the alarm sentinels. And then what does that sentence do? It's not just supporting, but it gives examples and details. So you see that whole idea? From big to small. All right? Okay? Yeah. Silahkan dijepret, take a screenshot, and look at it again thoroughly. This is an example of high score. Now, then we have the mid response. I'm going to give you a few minutes again. Read that. Okay. Let's read the comments. The response includes some of the important information about the sentinel meerkats and organ donation from the lecture. If it says some, it means the ideas, the contradictions are not complete. Right? Different than the writer does a good job of blah, 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 all 3 points. Can you see that in the bottom? So that's number one. You got to get the points complete. And this one is not complete. What part is not complete, yeah? If the response, maybe it's complete, but then the response includes some of the important information. If the writer says some, that means not all, right? Which was not included. Can you spot that? This is your reading. Come on. Did she say about the sentinel eating habits or not? Ada nggak? That the meerkat went go hungry. I mean, the sentinel went hungry while the others are looking for food. No. He did say something, look at the second paragraph. Because of this point, the lecture might make the reader doubt, mainly because the eating habits of the meerkats have been studied closely, giving arguments in order to justify the meerkats are doing altruistic acts. Do you understand what she wants to say? Do you understand or not? What is she saying? What is she saying? Does it make sense? Because of this point, the lecture might make the reader doubt. Mainly because the eating habits of the meerkats have been studied closely. Did she talk about the eating habits up there? No. There was nothing about the eating habit, yeah? So the information is not complete. Doesn't make sense. Okay? She's missing something, right? Therefore, include some of the important information about sentinel meerkats and organ donation from the lecture. However, it is very vague in how it relates the points in the lecture to the points in the reading. Vague. Okay? There is no clear reference to any explanation of the other meerkats being in danger. The statement commenting on organ donation, the other argument about human and their altruistic actions sounds logical, and a situation in which a person would donate organs just to get appreciation of society could be probable. It's not very clear. There are lots of sentences here that you do not understand. That's not very clear. Okay? But she did get some of the points. She did make a sentence. There is a subject, there is a verb, right? But maybe it's meaningless. Cut the idea. The meaning did not go through. So, this is what we call a mid-level or a lower 3. Yeah. Okay? Okay. Great. Now, therefore, right? Yeah, you have to handle your grammar. I'll show you how you can learn about that. There are lots of grammar writing. So if you're Googling, do Google sites that talks about writing. There are many universities, all right, that put their writing lab online for free. So go look at, go at writing, academic writing, just Google academic writing, and there will, then you have writing labs from many universities, all right, in the US. And you can learn a lot about that. Now, remember this? Your mentee? Okay. I hope all of you here are among the 36, yeah? I hope. Right? Okay. Describe a time that you were frightened. How did you overcome your fear? Give specific reasons as examples to support your answer. Okay, you have 3 sentences there, right? You have 3 sentences there. And my question was, the sentence, I once had an experience where I was scared because I went to a new place alone. But I overcame my fear in 2 important ways. When you compare it to the other sentences, I asked for help from a really nice woman that I met, yeah, and she helped me figure out where I was going. You have another sentence. Another way that I overcome my fear was by telling myself that I could do anything that I wanted to. If you compare that sentence and the other 2, is this more general or is it more specific than the other 2? This one. Is it more general or specific? More specific? I once had an experience where I was scared because I went to a new place alone, but I overcame my fear in 2 important ways. Dibandingkan dengan sentence yang I asked for help from a really nice woman that I met. And she helped me figure out where I was going. Coba lihat, yang lebih general yang mana? Idea yang lebih besar yang mana? This one or I ask for help? This one, right? Okay. If you compare it to another way that I overcome my fear was by telling myself that I could do anything that I wanted to. Which one is bigger? Which one has a broader idea? Yang I once had, right? Because it stated two ways, right? Yang ini another way, right? And this one, dia lebih kecil atau lebih besar? From the second one, the first one, is it more? Is it more detail or is it more specific or does it give you a bigger picture? More specific, right? Okay. Jadi this one is the big picture. Got it? Okay. Where does this belong? Sentence like this in your hamburger. Where is it? In a paragraph? That's in the introduction, the upper band. Great. Okay. And this one? This one then it's the second, yeah, which is another way that I overcome my fear. Of course, then there are two ways, blah, 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 blah. One way. Another way is this one. Where does this belong? Is this in the bun or is it in the body paragraphs? It's a body paragraph, one of the body paragraphs, all right? And most of you did say this is detail. Now, where does this belong? And okay, in one of the body paragraphs. Okay. So it's going to look like this, more or less. Whatever that you put in your introduction, this is going to include there. This is going to be the first, okay, topic sentence, we call it, right? This is another example, yeah. Okay, and that's going to be part of that paragraph. Clear? Okay, yeah. Okay. Now, yeah. Quickly. This is the independent again. Okay, read the question. All right. Okay. I'm going to give you 1 minute. Please decide. Just decide. 1 minute. Decide. What's your opinion? Just make a decision and think. Okay, guys. All right, now just give me a show of hands. All right, who decides or who thinks this is an opinion law? Yeah, there's no right or wrong. Yeah, okay. So who thinks that young adults should live on their own? And can I have a show of hands? Oh, hmm. All of you? Okay. Seems like 90% of those uh, on site. Okay. Who thinks, okay, who believes that young adults live with the family? Young adults, loh. Young adults. Anyone? One? Only one? Two? Okay. Three, four? All right. Yeah. The minority. Only four. And is there anyone here who says it depends? Oh, good. Okay, great. So I guess the vote is the first one wins. The majority of you believes, you think, your opinion is that young adults should live on their own. And I think the second rank, yeah, is that young adults should live with, that it depends, right? And then the third one is young adults live with the family. That's the rank. Okay? Now think of your reasons. Okay? Ya udah tulis saja. Please. Now think of your reasons. I'll give you just jot down reasons. Mau dua, mau satu, mau tiga. Think of your reasons. Okay? I will give you 3 minutes. Okay, now I'm going to give you a chance. All right. Although you are wearing your masks and you are physically distancing yourself from your friend, can you just show maybe whatever? Okay, can you just have a long distance, have a safe distance discussion? Okay, and compare. Ask your friend next to you, ask your friend behind you who's sitting on above the tribune, okay, on the second step. Or then take a look at your friend who's sitting below you. Can you do that? Right? Go ahead. Okay. Say hello. Say hello first if you don't know each other. Right? Some of you have been here for 4 times. Okay. So go ahead. You can compare. Do you have the same opinion? If you do, what are the reasons? Do you have the same reasons? Come on. I'll give you some time to discuss. Okay, guys. So, right. Okay. So did you find somebody who agrees with you or somebody who disagree? Huh? Agree? Everybody found somebody who agrees? Oh, that's good. Okay. All right. Now, yeah. So that's what you do. Yeah, that's what you do. I'm giving you a first-hand experience again. All right. The minute you see the prompt, then what do you do? Decide. Okay. And remember, this is not an honesty test. Seriously, some of my students ask that, Miss, uh, it's easier for me to agree. Meaning, she finds a lot of reasons of why people agree. Itu loh. Ya. But I really disagree sih. Ya udah, ya disagree aja. Tapi susah nggak ya ntar nulisnya? Or am I going against the world? That has nothing to do. Okay? Make sure that it's comfortable. Nah, okay. It's pretty easy. It is pretty easy if you agree with this one, gitu kan? Or agree with this one, right? If you agree with one, right? If you choose one of the other. It's pretty if you say it depends. How many of you? I think it's more, there were about 15, 12. Okay. It depends, right? Okay. It depends on what? Can I have a hello? All right. Who's going to be a very brave, courageous volunteer over here? There, in the back. All right. So it depends on what? Can you share? Thank you.
Yes. Uh, it just depends because I have two reasons here. One is what parenting culture your parent have. I mean, if your parent have a Western culture, it's okay. Young adult live on their own, but in the Middle East culture, young adult live with their family.
Mm.
And the second and the last is how many child or children your parent have. If you are the only child, it's better young adult life with their family to take care of the rest of the parent life. I mean, like that. That's my
Okay.
reason. Thank
Oh,
you.
okay, thank you. All right. So number one is based on culture, yeah. Are you thinking about yourself? Ini young adults though. Are you still young adults? Young adults mean how old? Yeah, fresh grad lah, fresh grad. So what's a fresh grad age nowadays? 22? About 22, yeah? 22, okay. All right, all right, okay. So that's one from one POV, one point of view, right? Culture, it depends on the culture. It depends how, whether you come from a very small family, you're the only child, or whether you have a lot of siblings, right? If you have too many siblings, maybe your parents will be very happy you're to go, let you go. Good, good. Go. Okay. All right. Can we have another reason of it depends? Who's going to share? There's a lot of it depends over here. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes. From my opinion, the first opinion is in my heart, I agree that young adults should live on their own because yeah, they can make their decision by their own if living alone. But it depends also of many conditions such as the money and also health. yeah, health. So the money, when you live with your family, you can you don't have to have like the living costs because you live with your parents, right? And the other one is my opinion is about the health condition of the parents. If yes, if we can we cannot make the parents live alone because of the health condition. So yes, the condition, money, and also the health.
Okay,
Yes.
so you're talking about uh, your answer is it
It
depends,
depends, yeah.
Even though you think it's good,
Yeah, I
but
think it's good. Young
to
adults
live
live
alone.
their own because they can independent
Yeah.
and they can make their own decision without the parents taking the parents control. Yes, but it depends on the family's condition and
Okay.
also the family's conditions such as money and health.
Yeah, financial
Yes,
condition.
financial and
Okay,
the
and
health
number two
condition.
is your well-being. Yeah, maybe.
Yes.
The parents' well-being, the family's well-being.
Yes.
Okay, I'll leave it at that. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank
Okay.
you.
Is there anyone here who answer it depends? Okay, we have. Would you like to share? Yeah.
Okay, it depends because of family location. If close to education place or career office like that, it could be better to still stay with the family. But if it not, yeah, just go to pursue the goal and pursue the career and education. Thank you.
So it depends. So you're thinking that young adults can move away from the parents, okay, not living with their parents, if
If the location for education,
Oh,
like
okay.
higher education or office,
all right,
they where they work, it is still near from their family.
okay, if they, I mean, yeah, it depends on the what is that like the
Yeah,
place where
location.
where
Mhm.
they need to work or
Mhm.
where they need to
Study.
study.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, one more from that side. Anyone? Anyone? No? Okay. So, uh, usually I do recommend, I do recommend that it's black or white, meaning you agree with one. Okay. It's easier, right? It's easier for you to, what is that? To express your ideas. All right. Why? Because in the sentences, when you say it depends, there are, as you said, it depends because if, gitu kan? From the first one, your friend said, well, it depends. If the culture, right, of the family, and if you are the only child, if, right, your parents are healthy, if you have the money, you are financially okay to live with yourself, all right, you're really financially independent, if, right, your workplace, your studies, okay, your school is far away, then so be it, right? Now, when you say it depends, itu conditions, right? Meaning your sentences itu pasti ada apanya. What kind of sentence? Do you remember? Conditional loh. Ya, and conditionals are quite tricky sometimes because ini mungkin terjadi atau tidak. Itu beda dengan yang sudah tidak. If I had gone to the party last night, I would have seen you. If I go to the party tomorrow, will I see you? You see the difference? Yeah. It needs that kind of like deep understanding of structure. Yeah. So sometimes I do recommend it's black or white. Karena kalau it depends itu, number one, realistically speaking, you're going to have to write more, right? And complex and explain. But it's okay. Okay. So that's why I'm giving you a sample of a response, a writing response, which answer is depend. Okay. Nah, jadi look at the first. I'm going to, sorry about this. Okay, I'm going to ask you to look at the first paragraph. Look at the first paragraph. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Every young adult will grow and live apart from their parents. This is intro, yeah, to form their own families. The ages for those young adults to be independent depends on each person. Some people may have to live longer with their parents and some others may not. This essay will discuss the issue of independent life and living with their families for a longer time. What's the intro sentence there, the thesis sentence there? The one that's underlined, do you see that? Yeah, it's very clear. Oh, we're going to discuss this too. Because of that, kan dia udah ngomong, independent life. So the second paragraph starts, I think one of you asked me, does the last sentence of a paragraph also open to the next paragraph? If you can do this, do it. Okay? It should. But sometimes you're just saying like there are two ways in which we can, find a way not to get scared. Right? One. Nah, ini sekarang. Jadi, ya karena dia udah ngoceh in the last sentence, discuss the issue of independent life, ya berarti the next paragraph is going to be about independent life. And so he said, most young adults prefer to have a separate or independent life from their parents or families as soon as possible. What do you think comes after this? If you read it quickly, what is he stating or what is he stating? What does the writer state in that paragraph after the first sentence? Talking about what? Reasons. Okay. Only reasons? Only reasons? The reason why? Oh yeah, because they have a strong urge for freedom in doing what they desire. Tapi itu reasonnya cuma satu loh. Ya, atau many reasons? Ada reason lagi nggak? Look at the next sentences. Is that still reasons? Other reasons? Or is the what? The outcome, right? The outcome of living alone, right? But most of them fail. But in fact, many of them fail. This should not be surprising since often they are actually not ready mentally, although they are physically ready. Nah tuh rada-rada bingung tuh ya. Tapi she got a high score. You get the idea ya. So it's not perfect, right? Tapi di sini pasti kalian juga pastinya bingung mestinya. What do you mentally not ready but physically ready? What do you mean by mentally ready but physically not ready gitu loh? What do you mean by physically ready gitu? You're strong, you're what? Full of energy. To live alone, do you need? Oh yeah, because you need to clean the house. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay. So Maybe, tapi that's a big question mark, yeah, because what do you mean by physically ready? Or maybe you have to be strong. Oh, okay. Or maybe you have to be healthy, right? We don't know. Nah, go next. It is widely understood that to live independently requires a lot of energy. Nah, baru dia explain nih. Oh, physically ready itu requires a lot of energy and is not easy at all. In the 21st century, people may need more and more preparation because competition is increasing rapidly. Okay. An observation shows that many university graduated students are unemployed. Okay. Therefore, they will not be able to support and fulfill their necessities. Oh, maksudnya itu. You get ya? As a reader, okay, I'm a bit going like, what? Huh? What? You understand? It doesn't flow smoothly. However, what I am pointing out is, however, this is an example of a high level essay. You got that? If you can make it better than this, your flow, better than this, you'll definitely get a high score. That is what I'm saying. All right? Runut. Do you understand runut? Itu loh, kalau writing, organization must be very clear. Yeah? Because if not, the reader will go, huh? Huh? Question mark. And that creates problems for the reader. Okay? Okay. Hey, terus, so this contains reasons, right? Cuman satu kayaknya, but the problem and also the outcome. Okay. Because of that, so living independently at an early age is not suitable for all young adults. For all young adults. Some young adults may need to take more time to prepare themselves before going out to struggle. Ini juga maksudnya going out to struggle. You got that? I have a feeling that the writer is like, you have your own thoughts, yeah, but then you're unable to convey that, make us understand. What do you mean struggle? Struggle for what? Oh, for living alone. Okay. Ada yang nggak nyambung-nyambungnya loh ini sebetulnya, but this is a high score. Berarti it could be a 4, gitu kan? Nah gini aja udah bisa dapat 4. You're saying? I'm giving you a lot of encouragement. Yeah? Okay. Young adults need to be ready to support themselves. Taking time to get more education and living with their families for a longer time may lead them to a better independent life because they will be well prepared for the hard life outside. Still, living in their families for too long will not be a good idea because they could get used to it and tend to be less independent. Okay. This is the paragraph development, yeah? Do you see that? And the last paragraph, the time to live independently depends on, because, so this is her development. Reasons why people want to live, why young adults usually want to live independently. Problems that arise because of that. Okay. And then, so you need this, right? The third paragraph, so that you will not counter the problems that she already stated or he already stated in paragraph 2. These are the requirements. Itu kan ya. Nyelip juga di situ. But living too long ya nggak bagus juga. Alright. Okay. And then this is the ending. Okay. Ya. So sebetulnya her thesis itu datangnya belakangan gitu loh. Di sini. You could make a clear cut writing by stating this from the very beginning. It depends on the individual. Paragraph 2. If the individual is ready with blah, 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 then living on your own is great. You will succeed. But if the, paragraph 3, if the individual is not ready with blah, 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 then it will not succeed. Clear cut. I will criticize the organization of the whole essay. Saya sebagai pembaca rada-rada bingung-bingung, okay? But kan kita tidak hanya melihat topic development, right? We are looking at everything, and therefore this is a high level response, ya. Okay. Nah, nih writer comments this well developed karena itu tadi ya. Okay, well developed essay meets all the criteria for earning a high score. High score can be a 4, remember? The writer develops the topic through a detailed discussion of independence and the suitability of living independently. Tadi requirements, all right? The essay is unified. Ya, memang from one paragraph to another there is a relationship. Sentence structure is varied, especially in paragraphs 2 and 3. Berarti not only simple sentences, but compound complex. The writer does not use high-level vocabulary, but word choice is correct throughout. Beda ya sama tadi yang pakai refute, right? The vocabulary is common, gitu kan? Tapi kan we are looking from as a whole. Ya, itu pelajarannya. Alright, contoh, there are minor errors, university graduated students fulfill their necessities. Misalnya, but this in no way interrupt the flow or meaning of the essay. Therefore, the person gets this. Alright. Okay, now. Jadi, coba deh, sekarang cepet-cepetan aja baca sebelum kita ke reading. We will go to reading. Okay. You don't need to finish everything, but on the first, just the first few seconds, the first few minutes, if this was your best friend, if they were your boyfriend, your husband, how would you help him? Okay, girls, how do you comment? What would be your comment on grammar and vocabulary? What would you say? I wish apa? You would, you'll be able to write. Write how? How can you what would be your feedback? Okay, that means be careful with what? Spelling. There is no spell check in TOEFL iBT.
The what is it? Responsibilities,
Yeah.
miss writing.
Spelling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. A typo can be easily
yeah,
seen.
typo,
Ya,
typo.
kalau typo itu is usually like 1, 2, ya, typo. But then look at this. Do you have many? Do you think these are typos? No, because I think he's not sure how to. Okay. So spelling. So be very careful with spelling. Number 2. Vocab. This is are the vocabs. Vocabulary words, guys. Okay. Sentences. Structure. Okay. And I guess vocabulary also ya. Ini bener nggak? Coba deh. Look at the second sentence. The third sentence. Is that correct or not? Grammar. No? Correct it. What's the subject? Nah. Live or living? Living with your parents. You need a noun ya. Gerund masuk. Living with your parents, okay, has many different. Nah, pusing kan yang mana pakai S, yang mana yang enggak. Right? Clear? Okay. Great. Now, now I'm just going to continue. This is one of the things that I said, ya. Go ahead, Google academic writing deh. Nanti kamu juga dapat kalau tidak salah di Purdue. I'll give it to you next week. University, Purdue, Purdue. They have the OWL, namanya the lab, the writing lab is OWL. OWL. That's a beautiful site. Okay, for academic writing. All right. Okay. Note taking and all that. All right. Come on. Let's now start reading. Yeah. So we have talked about the speaking and the writing, and let's talk about the reading, which consists of 3. If you have it by default, it should be 3 passages, 10 questions following each passage. But sometimes, as I said previously, you will get 1 extra passage because that is a pilot passage from ETS. Meaning, if you do whatever your answer is for that particular passage number 4, it means that it doesn't matter. Your score will not be affected. Okay? Clear? Ya. Lah, nggak enak dong. Ya enak karena you get 72 minutes. If you get more test items, it means you are given more time. All right? So, it's fair. Okay? All right. This passage, by the way, you may not need to take screenshots with your handphone because welcome to the new website. Quite different, huh? Yeah, okay. So this is the new website without the green, because usually it's green, right? So welcome to the new website. And of course, the easiest would be you are a test taker. Am I correct? So yeah. And then you want to practice for a test. So you just click that. And you're going to have all these icons here, right? Are you going to take the GRE? Any of you? Some universities still require GRE ya for the master's degree, but many universities already drop it. Gitu. Jadi ya cari aja yang enggak. Ya iyalah, don't make your life. I don't understand why you like making your life so hard. Okay, dah sekarang it's the same actually if you take the GRE yang verbal and non-verbal itu yang reading, it's the same. It's just a higher level gitu loh bacanya, but it's the same. Okay, so TOEFL iBT practice test. So you want to practice now, right? Click. And it will take you to here we go. And you see that? Okay. So you just go accessible formats, boleh ke sini, whichever. It's going to bring you to the same site, the same page, landing page, I think. Okay. And here we go. And you see that? So let's open the reading. Right? This is PDF, downloadable. And ta-da. Ta-da. Okay, you see that? Ya udah ya. So you don't have to go like this all the time. Okay. All right. And there are many others. Okay, just now, but I just want to introduce you to the new website because completely different what is that? Appearance, right? Okay, so let's go back. Here we go. Yeah, yeah. Don't worry, you can download it. So listen, let's just study this. How do we answer this, right? So remember that number one, there will always be a question which asks except blah 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 blah, except, meaning are you looking for the right answer or are you looking for something that's wrong? You're looking for something that is incorrect, right? Okay, so except, right? Except, so A, B, C, D, 3 of these information are stated. Okay? Explicitly stated. Explicit means written. 1 is not. Okay, which one? Read it first. Calm down. Read it first. What is this paragraph about? Iya, semuanya about the city of Tetugan loh. Ada 5 paragraph, but what specifically what? The features, okay, the geographical features, right? Okay, what the city has, gitu ya, facilities and all that. All right. Nah, which one is not stated? A, B, C, D. Hah? Loh, kok ada E, ada B? Ini gampang loh mestinya loh. B, A or B? B. Okay. So, regularly arranged streets, itu stated atau enggak stated? Coba cari dulu, cari. Yes? Where? Sorry. Mana? This one? Yeah. Okay. Explicitly stated, but using paraphrase synonym. That is as easy as you can get with the TOEFL. Gak pernah ada yang plak plak plak. The same arrange street. Itu nenek-nenek juga bisa jawab. Karena all you have to do is find the word arrange gitu kan. Now the level is a bit higher than just copy pasting gitu ya. The level is a bit higher. So find, if you have this kind of question, that means you are looking for sentences that may use paraphrase or synonym. Okay, so is A the answer? We're looking for that's not stated, right? B, several administrative centers spread across the city. Okay, an administrative center, gitu kan ya? Okay, so B is the answer. Before you answer, make sure that C is there and D is there, just for conformity's sake. Okay? Okay. Many manufacturing workshops? Where? Okay. And then apartment complexes? Nah, itu kalau itu plek-plek. Okay. Yeah. So you see the difference? All right. So the answer is B. And these are the words, the phrases that shows that A, C, D are stated. Okay. I'm jumping to now question number 4. That is explicitly stated. This is a type of question. What can be inferred? What is the word infer mean? What does the word infer mean? Does anyone know? Is it stated or not stated? What is implied? Stated or not? Kalau inferred, stated or not? Written or not? No. But you have to what we say, read between the lines, making inferences, making conclusion. Okay? Right? Suppose, an easy example. If you read, Agus drives a Bentley. Or a Tesla deh sekarang. Okay? To work. Okay? His wife used a Mercedes-Benz. All right? His children has a special operational car with a driver. All right. What can you infer about Agus and his family? Are they rich? How do you know? Do you know that his car? Okay. Big possibility, right? But okay, you are making an inference. Got it? You don't have to say that Agus lives happily because he is a very well-off person. You don't have to say that because, and you probably know, oh, he's very rich, right? Where do you think he goes on vacation? Hmm? To other countries, maybe he has been around the world, right? Implied. You get it? That's making inferences. From what is written there, you can make inferences. That's what we mean by drawing conclusions. But remember, your conclusions must be based on facts. What I mean by facts, based on stated statements. Yeah, it cannot be your wild conclusion. Itu loh. Okay, and then you say, "Oh, Agus' wife must be pretty, must be very beautiful." Lah, how do you know? Yeah, because he's rich. Okay, so of course he will get a pretty woman, something like that. Now that's like a wild conclusion a bit. You got that? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Kalau rich, yeah, because he has the car and everything. All right. Now, what can be inferred? That means you've got to read between the lines. Ito. What can be inferred from paragraph 3 about Qui Quilco prior to 200 BC? That is the end of the second paragraph, that sentence there. Finally, the impact of natural disasters such as the volcanic eruptions of the late first millennium BC, itu kan, titik-titik, finally, blah, blah, blah. Masuk ke paragraph ketiga. What is this paragraph about? Even though you did not see paragraph 2. Even though you didn't see paragraph 2, yeah? But what do you think was in the second paragraph? Tadi kan you know the first paragraph was, oh, the features of the city, what the city has. Gitu kan? Okay, describing the physical features of the city. Second paragraph, what do you think? Nah ini, making inferences. If the third paragraph, look at the sentence. This last factor is at least circumstantially implicated in Teotihuacan's rise. This last factor, so what's the second paragraph about? Factors, yeah, factors that affect, that cause apa? Yeah, Teotihuacan's rise or the rise of Teotihuacan. You got that? Yeah. You are making inferences, got it? But from facts. Okay. Oh ya udah, second paragraph is about factors, about the rise of Teotihuacan. This paragraph is about the last factor. This last factor is at least circumstantially implicated in Teotihuacan's rise. Okay, so prior, okay, tell me, where is the subject of this sentence, of the next sentence? Remember, we have subject, we have verb, we have object. In academic reading, the text become very long and the subjects are long and you get confused. That is the challenge of academic text. If you are lost, ini subjeknya mana, verbnya mana, you're going to get lost. Okay, so tell me, this is still easy. Second sentence, what's the subject? A number of relatively small centers. Is there a noun? Subject is always a noun, yeah? Where's the noun? Nounnya mana? A number of relatively small centers. Where's the noun? Loh. Halo? Nounnya mana? Small. Yeah, betul. Centers. The noun is centers, right? Everything that's before the noun is talking about the noun. So look for the noun. That must be the subject. Got it? Okay. A number of relatively small centers. Kenapa? Verb. Coexisted. Where? Yeah. You are reading in chunks. That is reading with your mind and not with your eyes only. Ya. The challenge of academic text, apalagi GRE. GRE itu lebih panjang lagi. And you sometimes have to read one line, itu the whole subject. Because it uses compound complex. That is a typical academic text. Okay, so you understand, right? Now, the third sentence, go ahead. We're talking about what in the second sentence? The centers, kan? The small centers, right? Okay, and then the third sentence talk about the largest of these centers. What's the name? Kenapa dia? Kenapa dia? Where is the verb? Where's the verb? Was affected atau affected? Ikut. Helping verbnya ikut. Was berarti apa? Pasif. Berarti dia terkena gitu kan? Ya, okay. This is another characteristic of academic text. Passive voice. Right? Because usually in academic text, the meerkat, kan gitu kan, act as a sentinel. Right? Okay. And then the sentinel has eaten. The sentinel has what? So, or food is given to the sentinel before something. Passive, ya. Okay, terus. Was seriously affected oleh, by, and then it's-nya siapa? Si Wilco itu. Okay, it's agricultural land covered by lava. Okay, so you understand now. We're talking about small centers. The largest of the centers is Wilco, and then Quikoliko. Kenapa si Wilco itu affected by hasilnya agricultural land covered with lava. Terusin. With Quikoliko eliminated as a potential rival, itu kan? Apa yang terjadi? Any one of a number of relatively modest towns may have emerged as a leading economic and political power in central Mexico. Because there was a volcanic eruption, right? So the land was covered with lava, right? And so with si Quilco ini eliminated, yang lain si kecil-kecil kenapa? Might have emerged as a leading economic and political power in central Mexico. Okay, go on. What's the subject for the next sentence? Evidence. Okay. The archaeological evidence. What's the verb? What's the verb? Verb. Clearly atau indicate atau clearly indicate? Verb. Indicate. Okay. Verbnya indicate. How was it indicated? Clearly. You get the idea? Okay. Clearly indicates though that Teotihuacan was the center that did arise as the predominant force di mana in the area by the 1st century AD. So, go ahead. What can be inferred from paragraph 3 about Quiquilco prior to 200 BC? It was a fairly small city. It was located outside the Valley of Mexico. Tunggu baca dulu si C-nya ya. It emerged rapidly as economical and political center. Its economic relied heavily on agriculture. Nah tadi masih ada yes, ada no. Satu loh jawabnya loh. Mana yang benar? Oke. Coba. How do you know that it is not a fairly small city? The largest of these centers prior to 200 BC. How do you know that it was not located? How do you know that it was not located outside the Valley of Mexico? Okay, coexisted in and near the Valley of Mexico. Okay, how do you know that it did not emerge rapidly as an how do you know that it did emerge rapidly? Because your answer is C. Am I correct? Mau jawab C apa D sih? Oh, D. So how do you know that it did not emerge rapidly as an economical and political center? Which sentence? Ayo. Which sentence? It emerged rapidly as an economical and political sentence. Can we infer that? With any one of a number of relatively modest towns might have emerged as a leading economic and political power in central Mexico. Yeah. Look at the last sentence. The archaeological evidence clearly indicates, though, that siapa was the economic that rose? Teotihuacan. Oke. Berarti kan bukan dia kan yang emerge. Kan we're talking about si Quiquilco, right? Iya, oke. Yang emerge is Teotihuacan. Oke. How do you know that its economy relied heavily on agriculture? Oh, dari mana? Hah? Because apa tadi? By lava? Okay. Around this time, the largest of these centers was seriously affected by a volcanic eruption with much of its agricultural land covered by lava. Itu geographically that's what happened, right? Sambungin with eliminated berarti karena dia kena si lava ini, what happened? Dia tidak lagi menjadi ini kan? Ya, it cannot be the best atau one of the biggest economic and political power in New Mexico because of the natural disaster. Kan gitu kan? Right? Okay. So, Berarti dengan adanya this sentence is like support the idea because of the lava, okay, of the geographical condition. What happened was it cannot be an economical power. Got it? Which is the same as saying its economy relied heavily then on, itu kalian menyimpulkan tuh. Ya. Hubungannya tidak langsung. Hubungannya ke sana dulu, ke sini dulu. Oke. Benar nggak sih jawabnya? Coba lihat. Ya, bukan hanya ini ya, tapi harus dilihat the next sentence. You get that? Ya, kuncinya memang di situ, but then look at the next sentence. Oke, yuk. Nah, this is the excitement of the new reading questions, because now you have to answer two. Select two answer choices from A, B, C, D that are mentioned in paragraph 5 as being features of Teotihuacan that may have attracted immigrants to the city. To receive credit, okay, you have to answer both correctly. Oke, coba. Select two answer choices that are mentioned in paragraph 5. Features of Teotihuacan that may have attracted immigrants to the city. Dibaca dengan tenang, dengan your mind, not just your eyes. Chop, 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 sentence-nya dipotong-potong dulu ya. Mana the subject, mana verbnya, so that you will understand easier. Jadi yang jadi tiga si Aninda gimana dia? Nggak ada sini. Okay guys, yuk. Which one may have attracted immigrants to the city? A? A udah pasti, semua setuju. The prosperity of the elite, where, in what sentence? The first and the second sentence? Long distance trade in obsidian probably gave the elite residents of Teotihuacan access to a wide variety of exotic goods as well as a relatively prosperous life. Itu kan? Nah, such success, yeah. What success? The elite success, right? May have attracted immigrants to Teotihuacan. Okay, A. The next one? Plenty of available housing. Which sentence? Huh? Oh, delta. The presence of one or more religious shrines. Okay. The sentence Teotihuacan may have achieved some religious significance and its shrines may have served as an additional population. So what is the keyword there for attracting immigrants? Population magnet. Okay, all right. Yeah, clear? Okay. So when you are looking for the answer, sometimes you need to look for the words in the passage that are not exactly the same, but synonyms of what is meant in the passage. Okay. Do you know what you have to do now? Do you know what you have to do now? Coba dibaca instruksi. In paragraph 1 of the passage, there is a missing sentence. Yeah? The paragraph is repeated below as and shows four letters A, B, C, and D that indicate where the following sentence could be added. So which sentence are we talking about? In fact, artifacts and pottery from Teotihuacan have been discovered in sites as far away as the Mayan lowlands, the Guatemalan highlands, northern Mexico, and the Gulf Coast of Mexico. Where shall we put this sentence? If you remember writing tadi, itu kan ada topik, ada example atau detail ya. Remember, so where do we put this sentence? Bravo, Delta, Alpha, Charlie. In fact, artifacts and pottery. That means the sentence before this sentence talks about, has something to do about the artifacts and the potteries, right? The arts. Which one is that? If we put it in A, because it only talk about at its height between about AD 150 and 700, it probably had a population of more than blah blah blah. Itu kan? And covered at least 20 square kilometers. Terus bisa nggak kita taruh dia di situ? Possible or not? No? Yes? No? Ayo guys. Loh ini topik development loh, ini paragraph development loh, ini paragraph development loh. No? No. Jadi mau di mana? Delta. Karena we talk about moreover the city had economic and perhaps religious context. Gitu. Dengan kuncinya mana? Where's the key? Most parts of Mesoamerica. because it states that most part of Mesoamerica. How do we know? Evidence, in fact, artifacts, blah, blah, blah. You got that? Ya. Mikirnya lamaan dikit yang ini ya. Right? Okay. Yet? Yet. What does maunya? Okay. All right. And this is another type. Yeah. So usually we have 10 test questions following each passage. Number 9 and number 10 is something like this. It could be insert text. And this one, what you need to do is you can either write the letter of your choice or copy the sentence. When it's when you are online, you just drag. You have the drag and drop. Okay. Now, so again, the idea is that an introductory sentence for a brief summary of the passage is provided below. This is the introductory sentence of the summary. Teotihuacan was a highly developed city in Mesoamerica that reached its peak between about AD 150 and 700. That is the introductory sentence. All right. So the question is, complete the summary by selecting 3. You have 1, 2, 3 from the 5 from the choices, okay, that you are given. These are the choices. How many choices? 6. How many must you choose? If you want to get, what's the highest score? From 3, you have to get 3 correct to get a 2. If you only get 2 correct, you get 1. And if you get 1 correct, you don't get anything. Okay? Ya. Ayo. Mau yang mana? Tuh, that was the sentence. Think, think, think. Walaupun kita nggak baca menyeluruh ya, but think logically, which makes sense. All right. I'm going to give you 3 minutes, and after this, I'm going to open the question and answer. Does anyone want to already try? What do you think? We're talking about what? The peak, right? Teotihuacan was a highly developed city in Mesoamerica that reached its peak between this time. So we are looking for sentences that shows a description of greatness, gitu kan ya? So which do you think belongs there? Yang definite dulu deh, yang definite dulu, yang sudah pasti dulu mana? The number and sophistication of the architectural, administrative, commercial, blah 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 indicate the existence of centralized planning and control. Gitu. Ya udah, saya iyain dulu ya. Terus mana lagi? C. Several factors may account for Teotihuacan's extraordinary development. Itu jelas ya. Itu udah pasti. Because it's talking about development kan, di situ highly developed, di sini extraordinary development. Okay. Including location, natural resources, irrigation potential, intelligent elite, and the misfortune of rival communities. Dah. A, C. Which one? Another one? Delta or Echo? Delta. As a result of its large number of religious shrines, by the 1st century AD, Teotihuacan became the most influential religious center in all of Mesoamerica. 1st century AD. AD 150 to 700. Does that include 1st century AD? Ya tapi kan, oke, ya nggak tahu. Terus gimana dong? Saya cuma nanya loh, include atau enggak? No, terus jadi langsung, oh bukan itu ya jawabannya. I didn't say that. I just asked, does it include or not? Masih bisa nggak ini jadi jawaban? Karena as a result after this. Ya udah. So, do you want to add more? Ada yang lain nggak? Ada yang punya? It's okay. So far your friends are saying apa tadi? A, C, D. Anyone wants to add more? Yes? E. In many important areas, from the obsidian industry to religious tourism, Teotihuacan's success and prosperity typified the classic positive feedback cycle. Dah, terus ada yang mau include F juga nggak? Semua dong nanti. 3 loh. Oke. Coba ya. Jadinya yang mana ya? Right? Yes, the answer is A. Yeah. And then you have the answer is C. Okay. And D. Kenapa I-nya? Karena ini nih. We're not talking anything about the feedback cycle. You get it? We're just talking about the peak gitu loh. So what happened in the peak? Yeah? All right. Okay. Now, I have 7 minutes left. Yeah? But I will end this. Remember, by now you understand that strategy, what we are doing now, strategy is how to apply the competence that you have in answering test items smartly. Karena kita sudah tadi termasuk di antaranya one strategy for writing is the template, note-taking template. Remember the note-taking template? You have the T and then you have the outline, right? Itu strategi. But you cannot apply spy strategy if you don't have the ammunition. What is your ammunition? Your English. As simple as that. Your grammar, your vocabulary. You got that? Yeah? So, focus on your ammunition. All right? Okay, focus on your ammunition so that you will be able to apply C, the T. Content sudah paham, but how do you write a well-organized essay to respond to misalnya the integrated writing? All right? Okay. Okay. Any questions that you want to ask? No questions online? Any questions that you would like to ask? No?
Nope, there's no online question. So maybe in person? Very clear today. No question, Ibu, saking clearnya.
Yeah, that's always ini San,
Yeah,
whether it's very clear or
Or-
whether it's not clear at all. That's why there are no questions.
either one ya. It's gonna be
You have a
very
question?
extreme points.
No, okay.
Okay.
There is a question. There is a question.
Boleh tolong berdiri and state your name. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, Bu. My name is Aulia.
Yeah.
I would like to ask a question. It's actually far back to the first high-rated response regarding to the writing,
Okay.
the writing response of high level. So in there is a high level response, but it's actually like one paragraph, Bu, a tab, but it has a lot of connecting words and transition words. This is maybe a stupid question, but the paragraph that I understand since I was little is actually like it's having a tab and then a certain sentence and then enter and then another tab, which is another high level response is actually like that, book. But in the first one, it's actually get high grade, but it's actually one paragraph and have all the point. So my question is a hamburger type of strategy with lots of transition words is okay with one paragraph if it has a lot of transition words, or it is better to use like the classic paragraph style. So
I would
that's book.
say, okay, number one, okay, because we are looking at it holistically, ya.
Yes, Bu.
Remember, right? So in terms like of paragraphing, itu sebetulnya in terms of paragraphing dia nggak pakai tuh, right? If it's just like one piece, yeah, right? But because topic development is okay, the topic development is good, ya nggak apa-apa. You understand, right? It would of course be better. Our job is now to ensure that we get that high level, right? So it would be easier for you, I would say, if you do the paragraphing, the hamburger bun, one paragraph, okay, indented, right? Or if you don't want to have indented, paling tidak there is a space between the first 3 sentences as the introduction paragraph with the other paragraphs between space. Yeah. Usually there is the style now of like that's considered paragraph gitu loh. But actually in essay writing, academic writing itu pasti masuk. Mau APA, mau MLA, you have the different kinds kan. It will be indented. All right?
Okay. So the key is holistic, but better if we make it clear, ya, Bu.
Yes. What is clear for you? Okay.
Clear, Bu.
What is easy for you, right?
Yes.
That is just a sample kan. But I gave you a sample also, remember? I think the first one was apa ya yang the first one was it writing the Chevalier.
Oh,
Remember?
yes.
That was indented loh. And she and the test taker did write like paragraph. Ada yang one paragraph hanya one sentence, 2 sentences, which is okay. But she meant to write it as a paragraph. She also got a 5. Ini kan tadi hanya dikatakan high level. High level itu can be a 4,
Or a
can
five.
be a 5. Okay?
Got
Yeah.
it, Bu. Thank you.
You're most welcome,
Thank you.
Olia ya. Okay. Anyone else?
Next. Biasa kalau udah ada satu yang nanya ada lagi. Ya.
Ya.
All right. And who's next so that we can kind of like allocate our time? Anybody else? Okay, we have one in the back, one in the front. Okay, Bu. Can you please stand up and say your name?
Hello, my name is Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
I have question regarding the writing section.
Mm-hmm.
So, are we allowed to share our personal story or experience in order to support our argument? For example, just now we have from an issue about whether living on our own as young adults is better. I myself answered that it's better because I have personal experience. Can I state that I used to live independently when I go to college, and that's why I learned a lot of things, or should we keep it general? Thank
It
you.
would be better, it's best, because then you say, right? I experience, I think young adults should blah, 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 blah. Based on my own experience, I learned this, this, this. That's right, Kevin. So you want to, what is that? You want to use your experience as support,
Yeah.
argument. That would be great.
So can I state like I went to what college and specifically what I learned during what time? Ah,
You can. Based on my experience, okay, you just, you can, but gini, Kevin, remember, you are giving an opinion, young adult should. Jadi kan sebetulnya POV kita terhadap orang ketiga ya. Jangan dirubah jadi ke saya, you understand? Because then you're switching the point of view, right? So what you can say is, I think young adult should be blah, blah, blah. I can state this based on my experience. These are some of the things that I experienced when I had to live independently. Lah, pada waktu you explain your experience, make it generic. You get it? Yeah. People who live alone tend to blah, blah, blah. Itu sebetulnya based on your own experience. Tapi jangan, then don't go like I. You get the idea? Karena then switch. Alright? But it's based on your experience, fine, state that. Tapi nanti ceritakan sebagai sesuatu yang anak-anak pasti akan begini, anak-anak pasti akan begitu. Is that clear, Kevin?
clear enough.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you,
Thank
Kevin.
you, Kevin.
One more?
We have one here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I forgot your name. You just registered. Did you have question? No? Okay. Oh, I thought it was a raised hand. Anybody else? One last question? No? All right, and let me check with the online questions. So our audience in Zoom, do you have any question? We have about 20 something participants in Zoom. If you have any question, this is your last chance. Going once, going twice. Okay, all good. We don't have any more questions, Bu. So
Okay.
that's all. Thank you.
Right,
Ibu.
thank you. I'll hand it over.
All right, thank you very much to our facilitator, Bu Hafil, and also our Education USA advisor, Kasantika, for today's very informative and insightful session. Hope you all enjoyed the session as much as I did. So earlier in this event, we asked the audience a question, if you remember, and the question for today was, when did ETS decide to shorten the TOEFL iBT test from 4 hours to 3 hours? And the correct answer to that is A, 1st of August 2019. Shout out to today's lucky one at Chris1_Abiyoga from Instagram for answering correctly. Thank you so much, everyone who has participated in our question of the day. Don't forget to tune in next time and catch a chance to get a live shout out from us. Well, you can also stay tuned with our upcoming events. Also, we have 2 more episodes of this session. So stay tuned by visiting our website at www.adamerica.or.id. You can also submit your ideas, submit your proposals, and your event might be featured here soon by clicking to collaborate with us on our website. Also, subscribe to our newsletter to find another exciting events. You can also follow us on our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at ATAmerica for interesting contents, giveaways, and so much more. Also, click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. With that, it is time to say farewell. My name is Hasna. See you on the next ATAmerica event. Bye bye, everybody.